Hey guys, Jarek and Komodo here, going to be doing some more Call of Duty Black Ops 2. This time we're doing some team deathmatch on the map Frost. I'm going to be using the Scar Heavy, which is a heavily underused gun. Using a quick draw handle, a suppressor, and then still using all the perks I was using in the last video. I tend to load up on perks more than actually using attachments as of late. And lately I've only been using on the guns that are pretty much good as is stock without needing any attachments. I pretty much just put a suppressor on that, then use a black hat and call it good. But yeah, as a Scar Heavy, this gun really is underused. I don't see a whole lot of people using it, and it's a pretty solid gun.
You know, I honestly had no idea that that H really stood for anything.
I kind of hate you.
I don't know anything about guns, and you won't tell me anything about them.
Well, because a lot of the questions that you ask me are a lot of common sense, like, you know, there's two variants of the Scar Light and the Scar Heavy. One fires a heavier bullet, one fires a lighter bullet.
I don't know this! This is like all completely new. What was that guy doing?
Being AFK. Also, my teammate got that kill. Where the hell was he on my map?
That's a good question.
He was like not there.
He intimidated that guy like before you got there, and the intimidation kicked in like after you weakened him.
He was in shock. And 2 kills in a row from people climbing. Good thing I used dexterity. I don't actually use dexterity for climbing. I mean, it really helps, don't get me wrong. But I mainly use dexterity so I can start shooting faster after sprinting, which is almost a must in this game. I don't know how I won that fight.
Somehow.
Somehow, yeah, that's the correct answer. So the Scar Heavy, something I noticed about it, you definitely need the quick draw handle. You need to get that first shot off because the fire rate's kind of slow, but it only requires somewhere between 1 to 3 bullets to kill them. So it's got a pretty standard time to kill, but it shoots such a heavy round that it really does put a lot of punch into the bullets. Hi teammate, just shoot me in the face. I'm not sure why. Alright, so questions. If you want us to answer your question, ask a question down below in the comments and we'll try to answer it in a future video. First one is, do you like platformers, say Spyro, Crash Bandicoot? Funny enough, I still remember back in the last, actually I think it was about 2 generations ago now, like, you know, PS2, Xbox One lifetime, that's all there really was. It's like, yeah, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, there were so many platformers that came out of that whole generation of gaming. I don't really remember playing a whole lot of them. I played a ton of Spyro, but that was about it.
There was a couple that, they're kind of obscure now, obviously, but...
That guy, interrupting you real quick, that person was the worst. He got 2 sniper shots off of me as I was just kind of wandering around, not even sprinting, and missed both.
Well, somebody obviously needs glasses. Anyway, but yeah, one of my favorites from back then was like Croc, and I'm pretty sure nobody's heard of that game, but it was really fun. At least in my memory, I could probably go back and play it now and go, "Wow, what was I on?" But that's a lot of games.
I think you mean what were they on? Also, I'll be honest, the only reason I even knew of Croc is because of Croc. So apparently he played that game a lot, but that was probably just because of the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did play a lot of Spyro. I played a lot of Spyro 1 through 3. After that, it was... Insomniac stopped making them, and they stopped becoming good games, and I think everyone knows how downhill Spyro went after that. Recently, like, Spyro kind of came back for a while, because I honestly think the Legend of Spyro trilogy was pretty good. The first 2 were, I'll be honest, kind of mediocre gameplay-wise and very repetitive. But the story was enough to make me keep playing, which is a little bit strange because they tried to make Spyro a, I don't want to say adult story, but they definitely tried to appeal more to the older crowd than the younger ones, which is entirely different from Spyro 1. But I think they kind of understood that, hey, the people that originally played Spyro grew up, and they're not kids anymore, and they tried to appeal to the same crowd. And it worked, the sales worked, but then Activision got a hold of it, and Skylanders happened, and I don't know if we'll ever actually see another true Spyro game.
The answer is no.
Probably not. Not as long as Skylanders exists and Spyro is still tied to it.
I can't believe that... See, in my previous job, I had some experience with Skylanders because my job was...
Oh, real quick, look how many kills we had to win. 2 more before we win, and I die for the first time the entire game. That's real frustrating. Anyway, I'm sorry, what?
But yes, I'm surprised they haven't changed it at all. In my previous job, I had a lot of experience with that game, and it was boring. I don't see how kids liked it. And one thing that really needed to happen to it was the ability to jump, which apparently only happened in like the DS version. But yeah, they just keep releasing new games and new toys. They're trying to turn it into Pokemon, except you have to buy them. Gotta buy them all.
What I really don't understand is how that game became successful. It's a game that basically comes out with DLC, that's physical DLC that you need to buy to truly actually enjoy the game. And people love it.
They're appealing to two things that kids love: video games and toys.
And selling Spyro out to kids. I will still forever hate them for that. I don't care how good the game will end up being. Fuck you. That's the way I look at it.